Neither moths nor rust will devour your capital. The less you are, the less you express your own life, the more you have, i.e., the greater is your alienated life. The greater is the store of your estranged being and in wealth. All passions and all activity must therefore be submerged in avarice. The worker may only have enough for him to want to live, and may only want to live in order to have that. These words, penned by Karl Marx in 1844, are no less true today than they were 170 years ago. And nowhere on earth do they ring more true than in the United States. Quote, less successful. Our people basking in the light of glorious American exceptionalism. What we fail to realize is that our concept of success is not only narrow and short-sighted, but also fundamentally opposed to human flourishing. Our population as a whole may enjoy more wealth than some of our peer nations, but at what cost? Our waking hours are consumed by work, our life expectancy is on the decline, we rate poorly in metrics like happiness and job satisfaction, and those of us in the workforce today will never achieve the financial stability of our parents' generation. In this episode, we're going to attempt to divorce the notion of success from the dogged pursuit of the accumulation of capital. Let's start with the core belief that animates many American workers, the idea of the American dream. A sort of national ethos, the philosophy of the American dream can be summed up something like this. Everyone has the opportunity for prosperity and success, regardless of their background and based solely upon their ability or achievement. It's very much a pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality, a phrase which is also very common in American life. The idea that one should be able to succeed without any external help, solely through one's own force of will and hard work. This notion is, of course, absurd, and is made even more ridiculous by the fact that the phrase has been adopted by so many in a manner completely opposite to its original meaning. To pull yourself up by your own bootstraps is obviously impossible, and that was the original meaning of the phrase, to attempt something that is completely absurd. Of course, in America, nothing is impossible, so we refitted the expression to better suit our dogmatic obsession with self-reliance. America is an interesting case study, because unlike many other countries, when settlers first arrived here, there seemed to be an endless expanse of land to explore and claim. This frontier lifestyle gave birth to the restless nature of the American dream. One governor noted in 1774 that the Americans forever imagine the lands further off are still better than those upon which they are already settled. He added that, if they attained paradise, they would move on if they heard of a better place farther west. This sums up the American relationship to work pretty well. What we have is never enough. We need to accumulate more and more wealth, never satisfied, ever striving. Over the last couple centuries, the American dream has evolved into what we see today. Work hard, save money, send your kids to college so they can live a better life than you did, retire to Florida. In a lot of ways, this is a noble goal. The desire for your children to live a better life than you did is what we should expect of ourselves. But more recently, over the past 50 years or so, the benefits of hard work have been stripped away, and the things older generations took for granted have all but disappeared. Jobs are harder to find and pay far less money than our parents were paid for comparable positions. Pension plans and retirement benefits are rarely offered these days. We have some of the worst vacation and parental leave options in the world. Much of the economy has shifted to gig work, which doesn't have to provide health insurance or any other benefits. And domestic and global perception of the US is on a decidedly downward trajectory. But don't just take my word for it, let's look at a few statistics. Back in the 1960s, only 20% of American mothers worked. This was partly due to the perceived role of the mother as the primary homemaker and caretaker, but it was also largely because most households only needed one source of income to provide a financially stable and upwardly mobile life. Today, 70% of American children live in households where both parents are employed. Most families simply can't get by on a single source of income. At least 134 countries have laws that cap the maximum length of the work week. The US does not. In the United States, almost 86% of men and over 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. You've probably heard that Japanese workers are some of the most overworked in the world. The average American works 137 more hours per year than the average Japanese worker. We work 260 more hours than the British. We work 499 more hours than the French. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, productivity of the average American work times the previous rate, that would mean we could earn a comparable living to our grandparents in 1/4 the work hours, right? Obviously, that's not the case. We're working longer hours at a drastically increased rate of productivity, but we don't benefit from that labor. Well, at least we're rewarded with generous vacation and parental leave. Oh, wait, no. We have the worst rankings in the developed world, and worse rankings than many third world countries. Among 41 studied nations, the US ranks dead last in terms of paid parental leave. We are the only nation out of those 41 that the paid leave required by the remaining 40 nations in the study is about 2 months. 2 months of paid leave in the US is unfathomable. In 34 of the 41 countries, some of the leave is allocated for new fathers. There's a reason we only ever hear the phrase maternity leave in the US. And that's some countries that rank higher than the US include Mexico, Greece, Croatia, even our fellow workaholic Japan. Estonia offers 86 weeks of paid parental leave. Again, the United States offers nothing. There are 0 industrialized nations on Earth that don't have a mandatory option for paid parental leave, except the US. Vacation and sick time is a similar story. We don't have a federal law requiring paid sick days, nor do we have a law mandating paid annual leave. Once again, making us the only industrialized nation not to do so. Take a look at this graph. You might notice there's a bar missing. That would be the United States, not mandating any paid leave whatsoever. It's especially depressing when you realize that a McDonald's employee in Norway gets more vacation time than just about any American worker, regardless of field or salary. Meanwhile, in the United States, we abuse our low-paid workers and lambaste them for being lazy and not finding a better job. It's no wonder that our citizens consistently rank poorly for happiness and job satisfaction. They're being worked to death, are not offered any benefits, get no time off, and on top of that are abused for trying to earn a living. What's perhaps more disappointing than wealthy older people deriding low-paid workers is other workers in precarious are fully aware that their occupation is based on their own exploitation. There's a disappointing subset of people who buy into the notion of, quote, hustle culture. You'll see these people make inspirational Instagram posts, posting images of Jeff Bezos, using hashtags like rise and grind, and going on about how the key to success is to work all day every day until it pays off. Here's the thing. For these people, exploiting others or inheriting vast sums of money doesn't make you smart, it means you've bought their propaganda. If you drive 15 hours a day for Uber, you might make a bit more money, but you don't have any opportunity for advancement. You're not suddenly going to get health insurance or vacation time because you're working hard. You're a piece of equipment to them. You drive the car, you make them money. That's all you're worth to Uber. But this toxic idea that we need to give up hours, days, years of our lives as a sort of throwing away your life. Hustle culture destroys your work-life balance, and those who engage in it see themselves as morally superior to people working traditional jobs for a wage. These sorts of false divisions among the working class are exactly what the ruling class wants. The same is true of the false division between the working class and the so-called middle class. It's a meaningless distinction designed solely to make more comfortable workers feel superior to their lower-paid counterparts, and therefore at odds with their own best interests. If you feel superior to others, or see yourself more like the billionaires than your fellow workers, you'll never organize against your oppressors, because you believe you might one day become part of this upper echelon. If you just work a few more hours per week, surely you'll be rewarded and gain entrance into their elite club. America's cult of overwork destroys our collective imagination. It removes every possible motivation beyond the desire for the accumulation of more wealth. To many Americans, there is nothing but work and the possibility of eventual reward. Work is the only thing that matters. But there is so much more to life than what capitalism has conditioned us to pursue. If we worked fewer hours, we could take time to spend with family and friends. We could learn that hobby we've been putting off for years. We could write novels, produce art, create things that enrich the lives of others on a fundamental human level. We could take time to just exist. When was the last time you just took a day to relax and you didn't feel guilty about it? We're so conditioned to believe that we should always be working that even when we're not working, it's all we can think about. The American dream, the obsession that anyone can, quote, make it if they work hard enough, is thoroughly tangled up with the notion of American exceptionalism. We think it's because we work so hard that we are exceptional. And you know what? We are exceptional. We're the most overworked population on the planet. Our standard of living is going down. Our life expectancy is going down. We don't get vacation days, sick days, or time to spend with our newborn children. We're increasingly unhappy. Our economy is teetering on the brink of the worst financial crisis in modern history. We can't protect ourselves from a pandemic that everyone else handled because we're so conditioned to believe that we always need to be working. And somehow we still believe that the American dream is a reality. So yes, we are exceptional, but we're exceptional in all the wrong ways. If we don't dismantle the oppressive structures that enable this culture of overwork, this is the only form of American exceptionalism that will ever exist. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this kind of content is supported by my patrons on Patreon. This type of video, while very important, is something that sponsors won't touch. In order to pay the bills and keep this channel running, I rely on AdSense revenue, sponsors, and donations from generous
pubbliche per evitare che qualcuno entri e lo occupi.
How long has this place been blocked off and abandoned?
Allora, questa casa è abbandonata da circa 10 anni. Fino a 8 anni fa non c'era nemmeno quella porta di ferro. Probabilmente ha messo quella porta per evitare l'occupazione. Ma qual è il reato? È peggio un'occupazione o è peggio lasciare vuota una casa? Anche quello è un reato legalizzato. E noi dobbiamo lottare contro quel reato legalizzato.
The housing crisis here is unique in that it's affecting the middle class. Usardi is able to help people who wouldn't normally qualify for assistance and who can actually invest in their new homes.
Noi occupiamo case sfitte e abbandonate da 3, 4, 5 anni in modo tale che nessuno possa dirci che noi portiamo via le case a chi ne ha diritto. Per cui noi facciamo un'opera antidegrado in questa città.
Do you think the government cares more about Venetians or tourism?
Il governo si preoccupa dei turisti, al punto tale che sta già pensando a come ripartire dopo il Covid. L'esperienza del Covid non ha insegnato nulla. Questa città andrebbe ripensata a misura di residente, altrimenti è destinata a morire e a diventare un parco tematico ad ingresso.
A city reliant on one industry is ill-equipped to deal with its social problems. And activists say Venice could have solved its public housing crisis if it made
Something like this after speaking to people who have lost their jobs because of COVID, who have had to squat in abandoned houses, who are struggling to pay rent, because it's clear that there are actually apartments for people. And instead, as you can see, the government has let apartments like this fall into complete disrepair.
It's here.
Venice's government knows these properties are out there, but blames Rome for making its job harder, with too many regulations controlling how public housing is assigned, and too few for limiting tourist accommodation.
Da questo punto di vista, per quello è importante che Roma riconosca non solo a parole la specialità veneziana, ma anche dando quei poteri che altre città europee stanno utilizzando. Se non c'era un punto di equilibrio e un tetto massimo o di giorni o di appartamenti o di percentuali, non si poteva riuscire a dare una risposta.
The solutions, you make it sound like your hands are kind of tied by Rome and the amount of money they're giving you and the legislation there, but you're in charge of that, so what can you do and what are you doing?
Stiamo investendo una cifra come 20 milioni di euro in queste che sono oggi vuote perché da anni non vengono manutenute per i costi importanti che hanno. Le stiamo sistemando e le stiamo assegnando alla gente con delle procedure che alle volte sono complesse perché si appoggiano a normative regionali. Tutti i veneziani dicono di volere. Tutto quello che i veneziani vogliono è provare a riportare la città anche a misura di residente. Su questo è ovvio che il comune è ovviamente dalla loro parte, è impegnato molto su questo. Quello che purtroppo manca è la possibilità di farlo in alcuni casi.
Time speaks a lot. Time and human effort.
Everyone here relies on
Some people
tourism,
don't even know
but then
what
there's also too much tourism. Where is the balance?
È tutto sbilanciato e infatti tutti quegli B&B, tutti quegli hotel nati così sono tutti morti adesso. Non va bene così perché la città è buttata in pasto ai cani affamati. Si sfrutta come sfruttano le prostitute per avere soldi in cambio e basta. La fregatura è sempre dietro l'angolo, sempre.
Questo è un conta abitanti elettronico che abbiamo posizionato qui nel 2008 e da allora contiamo settimanalmente il numero degli abitanti di sempre più giù. Quando lo abbiamo posizionato il numero era 60.704 abitanti, adesso siamo a 51.336.
Why do you think you have to fight so hard for Venice?
Venice is a city going down every day and the business doesn't care about the culture. The business is only money. So I have to protect the Venetian culture and population from the business.
Why are all the young people leaving Venice?
For the young generations, there's no chance to live in Venice. There's no way to have a house at the good price. And so, for example, when a young guy want to start a family, they decide to leave Venice and go to the mainland.
As a Venetian, why is it so important to you to save Venice?
Now we are at Disneyland. But in the next future, Venice could be a city like Pompeii, like Machu Picchu. So very nice cities, very nice marbles, monuments, but without the real life.
Deliver it to you. 30-year fixed rate mortgage, rates from 1.99% to 2.34% APR.
That's basically what he's saying. That's even creepier upon itself. Finding a place like Venice just uprooted and like no life whatsoever. That's fucking scary, bruh. That's scary. That is indeed scary, airy. Scary, dairy, airy. It's the scary, dairy, airy air. Got that ass up in the air. Oh. Sevens. Walter Bayamont.
Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood, thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed, cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got another blackout in Santo Domingo. Net runners are at it again, poking holes in the power grid.
Poking holes in the power grid. We didn't leave any voodoo boy behind. Dr. Paradox.
Well, I wouldn't if I were in your shoes. Corporations say the internet is safe and secure, that they've learned from past mistakes. From open their ivory towers.
You're just gonna sit there forever.
Say, Brendan, what's the difference between a broken bone? Let's take it from the top. What's your name?
I'm Brendan, your friendly neighborhood spontaneous craving satisfaction machine. Delicious.
Seems to be working now.
NCPD!
Say, Brendan,
Drop your weapon.
what's the
Come
difference
out.
between a broken bone and a broken heart?
Bruh, what you mean crime reported, bro? I'm not shooting at no one. You're fucking shooting at me, bruh. What the fuck? Stupid ass AI, bruh. You're shooting at police. No shooting occurring whatsoever, bruh. There's like an edge. If you run on like a certain edge, run hail, okay? Oh yeah, you need that. This.
You, Sergey?
What?
All right.
Oh, it's not him. Thank God. Quick, let me out.
It's unusual.
What?
you
You're
know, like... And you are...
Alex Pushkin, Senior Assistant in Quality Assurance at Biotechnica.
What's a Corpo QA doing messing with the Tiger Claws?
You work for Tiger Claws? I told them I would not accept their offer.
It's complicated. How about before I change my mind?
I do not know what is going on, but thank you. You will not regret this. You got this job from Makako, yes? I will pay her. She won't lose an 80, and neither will you.
You would be the last person to get bought by a corpo stuffed in a trunk. Oh, so I thought. You never fail to surprise me. Though I do suppose he who offers most shall get his way. Oh, I do not mean Sergei. No, sadly he was outbid by another interested party. Who knows what will become of him now? Quid pro quo, V. Quid pro quo. Contract closed.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it to your face. I ain't dead. I'm gonna say it to your face.
Got anything quality?
Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel.
Well, well, who do I spy but V? In my humble parlor, no less.
Bukako, long time no see.
So what brings you here?
Tell me about Westbrook. How many husbands did you have again?
I can't help asking. How many?
5. All went before their time.
You're not afraid? Willing to bet nobody knows Westbrook.
My husbands knew Westbrook. Yes. Each of them. Very high.
What did they do?
They did what made the best eddies. Gave them the most pull. Sold sex and black market tech.
We have some outstanding biz to sell. Remember Sandra Dorset?
I don't forget such things, V. Here is your reward. It comes with a fairly ample bonus. Go see a Ripper doc. They'll weave you a dermo imprint that will enable smart gun compatibility. A Tiger Class specialty. We are not done.
Don't rub me.
Got something that'll keep you hard.
Huh. Hey, V, wait a sec. Listen to that guy. How'd you rate his chops?
To my untrained ear, sounds all right.
Technique's second rate, but the feeling, that's what counts. Guy's hurting, got something he can't take, and it shows. Could stand a little more stage presence. Fingering's all wrong, loses the tempo more than he keeps it, but not bad.
You really know how to give a guy a compliment. Is that how you got your start? Street busker with big dreams?
Don't make me laugh. No time for playing my way to the top. Was too busy shaking the world awake.
Being at the top?
But... True. Had not...
So... No. Jokes aside. Johnny, pretty sure they turned your great spot into a slurp shop.
Mindless fucking consumerism wins the day again.
Point for the other team, huh?
Huh. This is why you don't bring back fallen warriors. Sooner or later, they're gonna see everything they fought for is turned to shit.
I'm ready.
Know anything about any bootleg?
Samurai.
You're not like really present.
I heard.
What you mean by decent? We got.
I'm looking for. Know what? Fuck this band.
Yeah, sure. I could think of.
Hey.
All right.
Help but chew him out. I need a quick rundown of samurai trivia.
Yep, third gig. Remember?
Easy.
Nope.
Johnny, please. Can you stop making my life hard?
How am I supposed to give a witty response to that pathetic question? It's like...
You always freeze up like this?
Played our third...
Hang on.
I almost forgot.
Huh.
Still do. Hey.
Much appreciated.
Take it. Spread the good silver hand.
You know, they say time is the best teacher. But look at that guy.
Guy's your biggest fan.
Lusaka Tower don't want people getting stuck in a rut, stuck in the past. Want them to change.
It's been 60 years.
Know what changed? The damn facade. Fresh interface plugs, a new face of Arasaka. Say,
something's changed. Maybe we can't.
Sure.
Hey, you there? Hey, you dig brain dances? Hey, feast your optics right here, yo. Got the meanest, supremest shit ever scrolled.
What have you got?
For you, bro? Best the Night City has style.
And that would be... Nice talking to you.
They're opening fire!
What is happening?
Where are the cops?
Fuck all this!
What did I do to you?
Меня бесит.
Alright, those fuckers. Open blah blah blah. Always crime happening.
Don't walk.
All NCPD subcons. APB out for suspect accused of murder by Yelena Sidorova, presumed armed and dangerous, have assaulted multiple homeless persons. Night City officials are offering a reward for neutralizing the threat.
Killing us off one by one!
You're welcome.
Are you fucking high?
Yeah, or I wish I was
You're
high.
totally high. Yes, that's it.
I wish I was totally high. You gonna get to look at that tattoo? That's all I'm gonna say. I wonder if they can turn this around. Well, I'm like, they kicked the dead horse. A lot of people kicked the dead horse. Like, they thoroughly, like, voila. Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel.
Back into my sights!
Yeah, something's up with my stream. What the fuck, dude? I'm actually looking at it and like pause it every so. Yeah, there's like frame drop.